When people disagree about someone they love, tensions can run high. Rather than solve any problems, usually these conflicts and disagreements often make things worse.
And now, Butterflies with Fleas by Leonard Kirsch. Mrs. Benson.
Yes?
Could you come in for a moment, Mrs. Benson?
Well, I have my audition. I should leave in about 15 minutes. I don't know New York, and I get lost all the time.
Don't you worry, I'll see that you get off in time. I just thought that you and I might have a little talk, just us girls together. Please sit down. Would you like a cup of coffee? Tea?
No, thank you. But if that apple is still there,
I'm sure it is.
where's Don?
Shopping. You must be so careful to wash fruits and vegetables, They spray insecticides on everything these days. I'm not so sure bugs aren't less harmful. I like apples nice and shiny.
This reminds me of something. What is it?
I have no idea.
You handing me this apple, nice and shiny. Oh, I know, Snow White. Remember when the witch brought her poison? Oh, Mrs. Baker, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that the way it sounded. I know you're not a witch.
Of course not. And I know you're not Snow White.
I may have to wait hours before I read. I'll probably starve to death before their eyes.
You're going to get that part,
What makes you so sure?
Well, you're a very pretty girl, and that's what they want in theater, isn't it?
Well, today you need to be more than just a pretty face. Anyway, I'm not really pretty. I think I'm interesting looking, and in certain lights I can look sort of lovely. But I'm not pretty.
Nonsense. Extremely pretty.
No, I'm not. I've got beady little eyes like a bird, and a figure like a pogo stick. Well, aren't you going to deny you said that?
How can I, dear? You obviously heard it.
There are plenty of things you can put me down with. You don't have to put me down with lies.
You know what I like about you?
Uh-huh. Nothing.
Ah, yes. Your candor. You're really quite a worldly young woman, aren't you, Mrs. Benson?
I suppose I am. I wish you wouldn't call me Mrs. Benson.
Isn't that your name? Mrs. Benson?
But you don't say it as though you mean it.
I'm sorry. How about I call you Jill? That's more friendly, and I'll try to say it as though I mean it. Now, Jill, I was interested in seeing what you and Donnie have in common. He likes you very much.
And I like him very much. He may very well be the most beautiful person I've ever met. Just imagine going through life, never seeing anything. Not a painting, or a flower, or even a Christmas card. I want to die, but Don wants to live, I mean really live. And he can even kid about it. He's fantastic.
Then you would want what's best for him, wouldn't you?
Now we're getting to it, aren't we? Like, maybe I should tell him to go home with you? Is that it?
Donnie was happy at home until Linda Fletcher filled him with ideas of a place of his own.
Maybe you just want to believe he can only be happy with you, Mrs. Baker. Well, there are none so blind as those who will not see. There, I can quote Dylan Thomas and Little Donnie Dark.
You constantly astonish me.
Well, we women of the world do that.
Funny how like Linda you are. Donnie was certainly consistent with his girls.
Why do you call him Donnie?
It's his name. Don't I say it as though I mean it?
He hates being called Donnie.
He's never mentioned it.
Of course he has. You just didn't listen. There are none so deaf as those who will not hear. You could make up a lot of those, couldn't you? There are none so lame as those who will not walk. None so thin as those who will not
Do you
eat.
think it's a good idea for Donnie to live down here alone?
I think it's a good idea for Don to live wherever he wants to. And he's not alone. I'm here.
Have you got a lease on that apartment?
No.
So you can leave tomorrow if you felt like it.
That's right.
You could sustain marriage for more than 6 days, could you?
My marriage doesn't concern
It
you.
didn't concern you much either, did it?
Yes, it did.
Do you have any idea what marriage to a blind boy might be like? You've seen Donnie at his best, in this room, which he's memorized. And he's memorized how many steps to the drugstore and the delicatessen, but room or over the street, and he's lost. He panics. Donnie needs someone who will stay with him and not just for 6 days.
You can stop worrying, Mrs. Baker. Nothing serious will develop between Don and me. I'm never built that way.
But Donnie is built that way.
Please, we're just having kicks.
Kicks! That's how it started with Linda, just kicks. But Donnie fell in love with her and fall in love with you, then what happens?
I don't know.
Then don't let it get that far. Stop now before you hurt him.
What about you? Aren't you hurting him?
I can't. I can only irritate him. You can hurt him. The longer you stay, the harder it will be for him when you leave. Let Donnie come home with me, and you go have your kicks with someone who won't feel them after you've gone.
I'm not so sure. You can't hurt him. Maybe more than anybody. I think you deserve all the credit you can get for turning out a pretty marvelous guy. But bringing up a son, even a blind one, isn't a lifetime occupation. Now the more you help him, the more you hurt him. It was Linda Fletcher, not you, who gave him the thing he needs most, confidence in himself. You're always dwelling on the negative, always what he needs, never what he wants, always what he can't do, never what he can. What about his music? Have you ever heard the song he wrote? I bet you didn't even know he could write songs. You're probably dead right about me. I'm not the ideal girl for Don. But I know one thing. Neither are you. And if I'm going to tell anyone to go home, it'll be you, Mrs. Baker. You go home.